Okay, it's 10:30, so I think we are ready to start. So, good morning, everyone, and despite the relatively cold winter morning, warmly welcome to this regional market development webinar. My name is Mika Mötyri, and I'm working as a gas market development manager at Gasgrid Finland. In this webinar, I'm acting as a moderator, and today we will have a collection of interesting topics concerning the future development, both in regional and national level. The objective of this webinar is to present the results of regional gas market development consultation questionnaire, which were organized after the series of webinars during last quarter of 2020. I would like to thank you all who gave opinions to this questionnaire. After the summary is presented, we will present you regional development plans and also national development plans from each TSO side. I'd like to say that the opinions we received were very valuable, and it was possible to highlight actions which are seen important by market participants. So those opinions were really appreciated. I'd like to inform this webinar will be recorded, and if you have any questions, you may ask them after each presentation or submit them to the chat box. Well, I think that we could start with the first presentation, which will be given by Dr. Leena Sivil from EIFRI.
Okay, thank you, Mika. I can't for some reason hear you now. Is it a bad connection, or do the others hear Mika's voice?
I at least heard Mika very loud and clear, so, and I can also hear you, so.
Loud and clear here too.
Yeah, good. Okay, I guess it's my turn now, but thank you, Mika, for the introduction. Can you make visible the presentation? Yeah, for some reason my view has been blocked.
Yeah, it seems that Mika has dropped out of the webinar. Just a second, I will call him to check out if he has bigger problems, and if he does, I will take on the presentation. Yeah. Just a second, sorry. Mika is rejoining, just a second.
Okay.
Okay, we have some technical challenges when it comes to internet connection. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, just a moment. I'll share the screen again. for some reason I was dropped out.
Okay, good.
Just a moment. Yes, please.
Thank you. So good morning, everybody. It's my privilege today to present you the results of the public consultation arranged in last November and December about the expectations of the market participants for regional gas market development. And this is the first slide representing that the consultation was sent to more than 70 stakeholders and responses were received from 9 organizations. These represented 4 gas wholesale companies from Estonia, 2 end users in Finland, 1 wholesale company from Latvia and Lithuania, and the Lithuanian LNG terminal operator. We can go forward now. In part of the current challenges, congestion in Baltic Connector seemed to be the key issue for the stakeholders at the moment. Other areas of concern included shortcomings in transparency and harmonization, communication and predictability. So these comments mainly addressed the daily operative challenges. We can go forward. In terms of regional market development, the first priority was completion of the Baltic Connector project and resolving the related capacity congestion issues. Secondly, the market participants wished a common balancing or tariff zone to be established, including the Lithuanian market area. And thirdly, the respondents were expecting improved transparency, harmonization, and communication. There were also many other suggestions how to improve the market functioning, such as removing other physical bottlenecks on the cross-country borders and intercoms, and having a clear regulation on the Gipol interconnector. And the next slide, please. Furthermore, the market participants emphasized a need for an effective, efficient, and transparent market model. And there was a preference on a common tariff area as the next steps for further market integration. Again, the Baltic Connector capacity issue was mentioned as critical. And the next slide. As for the benefits in market development, the respondents highlighted efficiency gains as the main benefit from any future measures for market development. As risks, they mentioned that market integration would mainly benefit the large players. There would be challenges in regulatory development, and there was a concern over cost allocation between tariff areas related to market development altogether. There's a comment note in the upper level of the slide. So it was just highlighted that the benefits are kind of a wish list rather than a clear indication of that these goals can be achieved. So it's really the responsibility of the TSOs then to deliver these. And the next slide. The respondents also saw many questions that would require further analysis before making final decisions on the market developments, such as the roles of the Gipol interconnection point and the Polish gas market, the development of market management, methods for capacity booking, and the future role of the gas infrastructure in the region. The next slide, please. In terms of harmonization and joint operations, the respondents emphasized harmonization and joint arrangement of the capacity booking procedures. They would also appreciate common rules for balancing and transmission, common scheduling of balancing settlement procedures, etc. An area that were not that critical were invoicing and neutrality charges, which is quite obvious since these have little to do with the daily operative decision making. The next slide, please. Then we asked the respondents for an opinion on whether they would like a one-stop shop for the TSO services or a free choice of contact between any of the TSOs for the system services. The opinions were split between the respondents, representing even the same organization, so it is not very clear whether this question was understood completely by the respondents. The service language was not foreseen as an issue for these respondents, but on the other hand, they represented mainly those players who are already international and have operations in several countries. So we cannot really conclude whether this is true or not without asking the domestic players the same question. And as closing remarks and the final slide of this presentation, the respondents clearly want open communication, transparency, predictability, and cost efficiency, and see the further harmonization and integration of the market as a logical next step. And thank you all for listening, and now the floor is yours for any questions and discussion.
Yes, Timo has raised the hand, so yeah, please.
Thank you, Mika. And thank you, Lena. This was a really kind of comprehensive presentation, and it really provides nice insights on the views of the market participants, how they would like to see the future to evolve. I have a question related to this illustration where you showed that the four respondents responded that kind of they would like to have one point of contact. The 7 responded that they would like to have this one. They would like to have the point of contact that they are used to. The next one was related to the language issue, but did you go deeper in this issue so that what details provided the reasoning for these people to answer in this way? Is it so that they would like to communicate with the people that they are used to communicating with, and they don't have any views on who should provide the service? They would just like to have a connection with those people that they are used to communicate with, or is there something else behind this this kind of answer? Thank you.
So who would like to respond to this question? Any of the TSOs?
Well, I can say a few words. I don't think in this questionnaire as such, we didn't go too much deeper in analyzing the answers. We didn't have this open point where we would have had reasoning. And as Lena said, there might have been some misunderstanding also in this question. What we tried to kind of drive or understand through this question originally was that should we move towards a more centralized service point, such as one entity, one market area manager, this one-stop shop where the TSOs the market participants may clearly know who is responsible and where the contact point is, or maybe should it be more like today and the model also in Estonia, Latvia balancing area, where you have in a way one-stop shop but still free choice of contact in topics. Maybe colleagues, you can add to this point, and if then some of the market participants, if you want to comment on this, please feel free.
Okay. It seems that no further comments concerning this topic. So, Marko Alliksson.
Yeah, I can comment how I thought when I was trying to answer this is that, and the reason was I preferred free choice of contact, not a centralized service, and for the reason that there are some differences in local approaches of the on some of the details actually, and being able to choose one of the TSOs is actually sometimes more beneficial than the other one. It depends on what kind of setup you need and what kind of what is your business plan or what are you actually doing in the market. So actually having free choice of contact also in my mind was having to choose also what I exactly want to do and then choosing the right TSO for that partnership. That's one part. And then the second part of it, at least in my mind, was that it is somewhat tied to the question of whether there should be some joint TSO or kind of a joint organization which is providing the services to the market. And there's also a question with this kind of organization whether it actually adds costs to the system or not, because I remember in some of those seminars we had those discussions that if there will be created one kind of contact point who handles the whole gas market, would that actually be better for the market or not? And what I'm afraid is that nobody is willing to cut the costs in individual TSOs when building up a new centralized service. And in the Baltics, we have had this example, at least in the power side. It was DC Baltia some years ago. At least that was in my mind. And that's why to me it seemed that this free choice of one point of contact is more logical. Thank you.
Thank you, Marko, for your insights and comments. Do we have more comments? Markus, please.
Yes, it's Margus Kaasik from Eesti Gas. Well, thought I share my view as it is mostly opposite to what Marko said, so at least worth to share it. Otherwise, why to say something? Well, in practice, yes, I agree that there are differences between TSOs in some of their rules, in some of their handling practices, and therefore, yes, also we have chosen sometimes one TSO over another. But in general, I think the end goal where we want to go is that the market rules are so harmonized that it can't be the case that you can get some sort of a benefit whether you choose, let's say, Elering over Conexus or vice versa, or Gasgrid Finland over I don't know, Conexus, for instance. So I think that's that's not a good thing anyway. So probably we should get rid of that, I think. And secondly, also quite agree to the fact that if there was we have been the proponents of sort of a one TSO model or market area manager model, in hope that it brings a more harmonized and more efficient system. There is definitely a threat that if this harmonization is somewhere left midway, then actually we get more costs. DC Baltia, I think, is a good example. Definitely, but in the end, if it is done properly, I don't see a reason why it should actually end up with a higher cost to system users. Thank you.
Thank you, Margus. Timo, you raised hand again.
Yeah, thank you. How Marco put this, or how Marco formulated this issue, at least opened my mind to a certain extent, that to understanding that what sort of concerns could there be behind this sort of I'm sensing the sort of opposition towards the MUM model, and kind of I would see that kind of this possible solution to this question could be that it boils down to the regulatory model, so that obviously if the balancing activities are balancing management activities are transferred to another kind of a juridical body, the MUM company, then obviously it's up to the regulatory models applied in each country not to accept any related costs directly in the company, but kind of it's only the kind of sharing of the costs of the common platform that could be accepted in the regulatory kind of calculation in each respective country, because obviously there can't be any overlapping kind of functions between the two kind of activities, and sort of I think that Marco, you raised a really kind of interesting and good valid point, because if that is a concern that needs to be addressed on the regulatory level. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think that we can go forward in the agenda, and next topic will be regional market development roadmap, which will be presented by Anni Sarvaranta. Please, Anni.
So hello everyone, and thank you Mika, and thank you Leena for the presentation of the results of the survey. So what I will be discussing is jointly prepared by all the TSOs, but as the hosts of this webinar, Gasgrid will be giving this part of presentation concerning regional activities. But I of course invite also the other TSOs to comment or add to my presentation. I will shortly go through the kind of status of development based on these priorities set by the market in this questionnaire. And after that, the floor is open for questions from the market participants. So basically, we heard from Leena's presentation that we have 3 top priorities that can be taken out from this market questionnaire. The first one is very kind of operational and very close to nowadays situation with completing this Baltic Connector project and resolving these related capacity congestion issues. And here we of course have project organizations that are working towards completion of Baltic Connector compressor station in Estonia, and then we have also in Latvia Estonia capacity enhancement projects, and then Elering project on the border of Lithuania and Latvia. And here, if you have more detailed questions on these projects after this presentation and how they are moving forwards, I will let the responsible TSOs take the floor. But basically, status is that the TSOs are working hard to get this project finalized, as it is also the priority of TSOs, together with the priority of the market participants. what may be important to note, and what has been already informed also by the NRA of Finland, is that these capacity constraints that are now in Baltic Connector may result to our NRA requesting capacity auctions for Baltic Connector. Maybe now that Timo, we have you online, if you want to make a short comment on this progress and the time schedule, how you are working out this requirement, and when would the market know what will happen with this possible change of capacity allocation? If you would give a short comment on that, I think it would be appreciated.
Would you like me to make the comment at this time?
You can make it at this time, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Anni. Yeah. So the situation regarding the capacity allocation in Baltic Connector is such that we approved by the end of last year the status quo, i.e., meaning that kind of for this heating season there won't be any changes. But in this decision, we as well expected the TSO to come up with a proposal by the end of April this year, that how this present problematic capacity allocation system could be improved, or what sort of models or kind of tasks could be taken in order to make it function better. So by the end of April, both Gasgrid Finland and Elering should come up with a proposal, because obviously there are two kind of ends in the pipeline, so one TSO can't make it solo. So both TSOs should come up with a proposal by the end of April that how this situation could be improved. Whether it's an introduction of the capacity auction or some other models that we are not aware of at this time, that it remains to be seen. But kind of basically the ball is at the courtyard of the TSOs at this time to come up with a proposal, and then we will see what sort of opportunities there are to develop the situation further. And my true expectation is that by next heating season there would be a system in place that would better allocate the scarce resource of capacity in the Baltic Connector. Obviously, at this time we don't know what the new model would be, but kind of we expect the TSOs who are absolutely the best and best informed about the situation to come up with a proposal that how the system could be developed. Thank you.
Kimmo has raised hand. If you would like to shortly comment.
Thank you. I tried to control my rage in this, but I'm outraged on this issue now. That we are now going to the situation that the gas prices will be auctioned to Finland because one pipeline cannot be completed over a year now. This is not acceptable for the Finnish gas consumers and users. Absolutely not acceptable. Thank you.
Marko, please.
Yeah, I have just one comment on this timeline, is that because of what was just said, and if the UMMs this time are true, then April might be the first month when actually there will be 70% more of capacity in the Baltic Connector, and 70% more is a lot more in a way. Now, how will you make a really good assessment of the situation, or how would the TSOs make a good assessment of the situation if they really have not seen the situation of 70% higher capacity between the markets? So because it might solve most of the problem itself, and you have very short time to really analyze it. That's just an observation.
I think that's a good observation, and we are having also this dialogue together with our NRA, and it's a good thing also that that at least Finnish NRA is present in this room, that we will try to do the best analysis and proposal we can, but we do agree that it is very challenging as we do not know how the market will operate after the completion.
And there's just one more comment is that there will be likely a new Insukanis auction, and probably some of the capacity will be bought for Finnish customers, and of course any cost of getting gas from the Baltics to Finland, I mean, it's better to know before that, not after that. So it's another thing that the market players are making already now again decisions for the next season.
I would also maybe comment here, and soon maybe we can move forward with this topic. I will let, if there are other comments on this Baltic Connector topic from the market, you still may. But otherwise, I propose that we move forward with these other development activities, as they also include some analysis on these capacities, etc. But please, if you have some more questions and comments, and if Elering or Erkki, you wish to comment on the Baltic Connector project somehow, please.
Hello, Erkki's up here. So in terms of capacity allocation on Baltic Connector, we indeed need to, together with Gasgrid, develop this or analyze the situation and take into account also the potential solution of the problem through capacity increase when compressor stations are ready. So we will look into these situations or these issues, and indeed it will be difficult to provide a good or perfect solution to the allocation question without knowing the market situation after at least one of the compressor stations is ready. And on the topic of compressor stations being ready, then all the information from Elering side that we know we have provided to the market through UMMs. So today, indeed, the trial operation of Pujet 2 compressor station is ongoing. There have been some challenges and issues found during the trial operation. However, these have not yet shown or have not yet influenced the completion deadline, which has been communicated to the market so far. So that's all I can say about the infrastructure projects. Thanks.
Thank you, Erkki. Mika, did we have more comments from the market?
Anni,
Yes,
I have a statement to make. Finnish Energy has now contacted Acer regarding this matter, and Acer has sent yesterday a letter to all national authorities. And I will now urge, I have sent the Acer letter also to Timo, so I will urge now the national authorities to kind of like read that letter, get together and start acting according to Acer's guidelines. Thank you.
Janis Kales has.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Janis Kales from Latvia's Gaza here. I just first wanted to second on what Marko mentioned. So there are many other things that will be on the table in the upcoming weeks or months, where we will see the actual situation with the Baltic Connector and so on. And what I wanted to say is that please do not change the rules of the game in the middle of the game, because you know it's now Timo mentioned that some changes could happen before the next heating season. It's not only that the heating companies who have agreements for the deliveries through Baltic Connector, and it's kind of, there are long-term agreements in place, and now kind of changing the rules of the game in the middle, I don't think is acceptable. And second thing is, please, all TSOs and NRAs, consider speeding up the single balancing zone concept and idea, and implementing that. That seems to be the only reasonable solution to the current situation with Baltic Connector congestions. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take Timo's comment, and then I think we should go forward in order to have enough time to cover all the topics planned for today. So, Timo.
Thank you, Mika, and thank you all for this very, very kind of good and fruitful discussion that we have had regarding the Baltic Connector capacity allocation issue. When we did the first decision 1.5 years ago, we made it based on certain assumptions, and the assumption was the key assumption was that Baltic Connector will be completed by the end of 2019, and it will be fully operational on the 1st of January 2020 when the Finnish market is open for competition. That didn't materialize, and basically we tried to sustain the same assumptions until last fall, to make kind of another kind of capacity allocation decision regarding Baltic Connector for this year. But obviously now it has appeared to be so that those assumptions that we based our decision on were false. The Baltic Connector has not reached the full capacity. If that 70% improvement will take place in April that Marco was referring to, that is really good development, and we have absolutely no interest, no intention, no will to change the rules of the game. But I have to remind you all that kind of we as governmental authority cannot sustain a situation that is against the law. We have to meet the requirements of the network rules and network codes. And in network codes, there are two options to allocate capacity between two member states. One is the auction, and that's the primary option. And then distant secondary option is implicit capacity allocation. And there are certain kind of requirements set in the network code for applying the implicit capacity allocation. And we have basically cut the corners. We have tried to kind of look at the situation with our purple eyeglasses on, and to see that, okay, we have interest in kind of promoting the markets, kind of interest, and we have interest in kind of understanding that perhaps these situations will be overcome in the near future. But as it seems to be so that the situation is sustained, we have, if the capacity situation is not substantially improved, then we have no option but to introduce the capacity auctions. That's our legal obligation. Sorry to say that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Timo. And now really I see, Kimmo, still that you have your hand raised, but we need to move forward so we can present the results of our roadmap.
Anni, I understand that,
yep.
But this is an important issue. And thank you, Marco, for bringing this to our attention. But actually, Timo didn't know that the capacity will be increased by 70% in April. Nobody knew. So this is exactly the discussion about the transparency of this issue. There's none. There's people who know more, there's people who know less, and I understand from Timo's point, from the regulatory point of view, they have to do something. But this is now purely on Elering's side. And they have now kind of like do it. So the transparency is the key on here. Thank you.
Thank you. Now
yeah.
We are forced to continue in order to keep.
And shortly, maybe I will let Erkki comment on this shortly, because I do understand that you have published all the capacities in the UMM messages.
Sure. Yeah, the information that we know have been published as UMM messages to everybody at the same time. So we have done all we can to promote transparency on the on this issue, and we also do whatever we can to make the compressor make the contractor to finalize the compressor stations as soon as possible. So that's all I can say today. Thank you.
Thank you, Erkki. And what comes to this is of course very important topic for the market to complete this project. But if we look at longer term development activities, there were also two other priorities set through this questionnaire. One was the development of this common market area, first towards common tariff area with Lithuania. We will go shortly through that situation in the next slides. And then the third important priority was exactly this: to improve communication, to improve transparency, to move more forward with the harmonization, to improve the market operations as a whole. So shortly then, Mika, can you take the next slide, please? Yeah, so shortly on this topic on communication improvements. So we have sat together with the TSOs and planned for 21 these action points, how we start improving our communication and transparency towards the market. First of all, we have set up a market development steering group that consists of market development responsible leaders from each company. Basically, we meet once per month to steer these joint development activities, and also if there are some customer messages to handle those. On top of that, the TSO CEOs, including these market development responsible leaders, meet once per month to discuss relevant topics, make decisions if decisions need to be taken concerning the regional gas market, and also on the CEO level to follow up on regional development activities and what is important for the market. Then on this communication side towards the market, we have decided to organize at least 3 gas market councils. This is the first one. The second one will be organized in Q2, Q3, where we will publish the coordinated maintenance plans and status of PCI projects. So you will get a more detailed and fuller view on how these different projects in the area that affect the whole market is moving forward, and also get a longer term view on maintenance plans to improve longer term transparency and communication. And then number 3 council, which will be organized in the fall time, it will be again to follow up on how these development activities we now present in this roadmap are moving forward, and also to kind of discuss feedback from that point of view, and then again take forward the next market survey to be able to coordinate again the next 2 years with this development roadmap to kind of be compliant or to better serve the market and its needs. On top of this, now all the 4 TSOs, to my understanding at least, use now the same platform for UMM messages, and also the TSOs have now started a discussion on to coordinate common principles for these UMM messages, as this has been a message from the market that maybe not to the level or the transparency or the timeliness of the messages has been similar in the countries. So this has been taken up as a development activity. Can you take me on the next slide, please? Then I have 3 different timelines here for 3 different important topics concerning development activities in the region. The first one is on market integration harmonization. The second slide is on technical and operational coordination. between the countries. And the third is on green gases and future of gases. So here we address what the market wanted to set as a priority is to move forward with market integration and also with this harmonization topic. So first of all, this development of joint tariff area between Finland and Lithuania. We know that this is important for the market, and we really are trying to find a solution for this between the areas. Basically, we will go through these once more, these models, once more, these negotiations through this springtime. And if we find a result, or if we do not find a result, it will be then clearly communicated towards the market, and also explaining what has been discussed and why we move or propose to move forward with a certain model or not. So there is still no guarantee that we can achieve this tariff area, but that's what we are really kind of all working towards with. The key issues still remain. The discounts in some countries compared to other countries. If that cannot be solved, it will be a very kind of a tough piece of cake to eat. Why some countries give discounts and others do not. And the second kind of big topic is still the amount of compensation. Basically discussing that should Estonia, Finland, Latvia compensate Lithuania for removing this tariff, and if with what kind of sum. And again, of course, if a solution would go towards the three countries compensating towards Lithuania, it would be really shown for the market participants, or basically the gas users of these three countries, that paying a compensation is really kind of increasing the net benefits of the gas users of these three countries. So this is a difficult negotiation, but if we find a solution, we will of course move towards with tariff area development, and earliest in Q4 22 or Q1 in 23 would this tariff area then go live. And this is due to basically current tariff periods. In some countries, the tariffs are set for 2 years period. So this Q4 22 is the earliest possible time that this tariff area could be in operation, regardless of the results. But the market will be then informed in this market development webinar next fall at latest, how this negotiations have move forward. And if we have something to consult, then of course we will consult, and need to be really transparent with these compensation topics, because they affect the gas users in the market, especially the gas users. Sorry, Yanis, I will go through this slide shortly through, and maybe then you will have a short comment. So I can see that you wish to comment on this. But then on other topics, what we are planning to do and doing, again, harmonization of market rules, both balancing and transmission was set as a priority from the market, and this is also a step towards deeper integration, which was also in these discussions now that was discussed was wished from the TSOs. So we will investigate all the rules in all the 4 countries to see if there are points that could be already harmonized without having the common balancing zone. Of course, this harmonization needs to be done if we want to have a balancing zone. So this is a step towards also that. And of course, also the market will be consulted if some changes are foreseen. Then what comes to this balancing area development in more detail, as Lena put in this message box in this event, the congestion problem that we have will not be solved by the balancing area as such, because even if we are the same balancing area, if there is congestion, someone needs to do the balancing. And based on this study that we made last autumn, I put the link in this message box. The risks are too high compared to benefits currently within markets for the TSOs to actually interfering, taking over the market, and maybe some unfair situation towards certain market participants in country-specific markets if we move towards common balancing area without solving these congestion issues first. So that's why we are prioritizing now the harmonization that needs to be done anyways, and then moving forward with investigating this feasibility in more detail when we know how the tariff area will develop. Do we investigate 3 or 4 country balancing zone? And also when we see how the market is operating, when we have this capacity in better conditions and hopefully these congestions reduced. And of course, updates on these research or investigations and development activities will be done in this market development council, such as this, that will be organized by the TSOs. Okay, then I have a few more slides, but maybe Janis Kalais, I can see that you have some short comment or question on topic, so please.
Yeah, sorry, I just quickly wanted, could you remind me what is the tariff that you are discussing regarding the compensation with this compensation with Lithuania? What's that exactly? Which tariff are you discussing?
We are in this Finnish, Estonian, Latvian tariff area, we have removed all the cross-border tariffs. So we are now discussing with Lithuania that we would like the whole area to be one tariff area, so that we would remove the tariff from Latvian and Lithuanian border, so that the whole 4-country area would become one single tariff area, which is a prerequisite for also this balancing area development. So removing this cross-border tariff and harmonizing, maybe setting of entry tariffs in this area. Okay, then Mika, we can move forward to next step. So that was this market development, market integration development activities. Then we have technical and operational cooperation. Here, exactly, we know that there are some capacity enhancements projects going on Latvia-Lithuania border, within Estonia-Latvia transmission system, Baltic connector finalization. So there is analysis going on, an assessment of this regional transmission system capability with the current setup and after ongoing infrastructure development projects. And also starting in Q2, this coordination of maintenance plans will start taking place. And then results of these studies and this joint maintenance plans will be communicated to the market in our next market regional market council, which will be probably organized. This maintenance plans coordination will probably finalized already in June, but due to summer holidays, probably the publication and this webinar will be organized in August. Okay, we can move forward. Then this future, looking at the future development of green gases. In all the countries, in some exist, many of us are now setting up some kind of systems for these guarantees of origin. And we have a green gas coordination group set up by the TSOs to investigate the possibility on this mutually recognized gas guarantees of origin in this region. By looking at the rules again to see that we don't create 2 different rules, to harmonize these rules and how this digital cross-border exchange will then will be made possible. So we are looking into that this year and of course continuing next year on this topic. Then hydrogen development, again, investigating how this transmission system capability can receive hydrogen. So focus here is on the current system, and we're preparing and starting maybe execution already this year, this joint study. We're going through quite detailed what should be included, what not, what kind of consultancy help we need, etc. And that would of course continue also next year. And again, also from these studies, I think we will know a bit more in next fall on both guarantees of origin development and this hydrogen development in this regional market council in maybe Q3. Okay, but I think that was from my behalf, and I think we have some 5 minutes left for questions or comments. Or Mika, you may take the chair.
Yes, thank you, Anni. Do we have any comments or questions? It seems that no. So thank you very much, Anni.
Thank you. And of course, also questions may be sent afterwards if none come to mind now. Okay, Marko, I can see that you raised your hand.
Yeah, I have just a question that there's right now also going on Lithuanian tariff setting, which is also taking into account this Polish connection. And I'm just, what I would like to ask is there any kind of coordination in that sense that, you know, any decisions about even tariff setting and everything regarding this Polish Baltics link or GIPL, that would affect in the future the bigger entry-exit area where Estonia, Latvia, Finland, and potentially Lithuania are together. So are you coordinating somehow also this one, or is that basically a solo Lithuanian thing to do today? That's my question.
Well, of course, even with coordinated tariff setting in this Finnish-Lat area, also all the decisions are still national concerning the tariff setting. Of course, GIPL and GIPL is included in our analysis and in our discussions when we are negotiating this joint tariff area. But decisions on this tariff is, of course, on Lithuanian national level. Maybe without us, do you wish to comment?
Good day, everybody. From Ambergrid side, actually, there is, even though there is no regional coordination of the tariffs, however, there is a decision that, well, and it is under consent from our NRA as well, that the entry tariffs from any third countries or other EU countries to Lithuania, they should be harmonized with what is already in Finnish-Lat tariff zone. So for GIPL point, even if we are not reaching an agreement with Finnish-Lat on common tariff zone, there should be the same entry tariff as for the other points to this zone. And in 2022, that should be really regular tariffs. For longer period of time, there was a market survey for the GIPL, which was made in last year, and the survey results, they announced by Gas System and Ambergrid in our websites in December 23rd. And there, well, we estimated for the interest for discounts in this point. And well, it seems that there is a certain rationale behind to make the discount on this border. And for now, we are considering that and we're discussing with Gas System what to propose for our NRAs for the year starting 2023. And in longer term, we will keep an eye on this point and what would be reasonable way to proceed by maximizing the value for the market out of that. And one more comment that in this tariff zone, Finnish-Lat or wider one, there is a basic principle that the entry tariffs should be coordinated whereas the exit tariffs from the zone, they are left for the decision making just on national level.
Thank you, Vitatas. Next, I will take the floor and present the national activities of market development related topics. And slide here. As a first action, we have evaluation of a Baltic connector capacity allocation principle, which was already discussed. That by the end of April, we are evaluating the alternatives and giving insights for the capacity allocation mechanism to be applied further in the future. Then assessment of tariff period harmonization, and this relates to the fact that currently in Finland we have tariff period starting from the beginning of January until the end of December, while in Estonian Latvian market area the tariff period starts from the beginning of October until the end of September. So here is room for harmonization, and in this assessment we are evaluating the harmonization possibilities, because we are in the common tariff zone, and it's important that the possible future changes in tariffs will be applicable, will enter into force at the same time in the region. So that is one assessment which will be done during Q2 and 3. Then we will have wholesale and retail market forums continuing, which we have already had during last year. This concept will continue, and in the wholesale market forum, the language is English, and this is for registered shippers, traders, transmission system end users, biogas and LNG injecting parties, and TSOs. And this is a discussion forum which helps us to develop our services and make the market functions more and more efficient, and serve the market as well as possible. Then we have retail market forum. This forum is held in Finnish, and this is for retailers and DSOs. These forums will be organized twice per year, and the next one will be during Q2, and exact dates will be announced in the near future. So you may sign up to these forums by sending email to commercial@gasgrid.fi or sending email directly for me. But keep in mind, in order to keep the size of these forums, let's say, to ensure the efficient discussion, so there can be only one representative per registered market role in each group. Then we will have development and commissioning of a guarantee of origin system in Finnish market. This was already mentioned in the regional map. So from a Finnish national market perspective, the Finnish national law will be amended to transpose the renewable energy directive on guarantees of origin of renewable energy sources, and this affects the biogas related system, so that the law amendment will create a system of guarantee of origin for gas, and in Finland Gasgrid will have the responsibility to set this system in place. And the target is that the system will be in place from the beginning of July. But currently we have a biogas certificate system, and that will be in place in parallel with this guarantee of origin system a certain period of time. So there is a smooth transformation from the current biogas certificate system to this new system in the future. Then transmission tariffs for 2022 will be published by the end of November. Current tariffs are in set in force for this whole year 2021. And then development of Finnish market or commercial services is a continuous process. We are developing our systems and services continuously, and here we would encourage you to send us feedback or proposals if you see needs for improvement. And also one potential place to give comments and views are those regional, not regional, but these retail and wholesale market forums organized twice per year. Then last point is a joint study with electricity TSO Fingrid on a future energy system. So we are deepening cooperation with electricity TSO in order to achieve future sector coupling, evaluate future sector coupling possibilities, and this is currently in a planning phase, but detailed schedule and information related to this study will be published later. Yes, that's basically all from my side. Any comments, questions?
Maybe we should let the other TSOs take the floor now, and if we have comments, take them afterwards, just to kind of not steal all the time.
Let's do so. So let's continue to Elering presentation. Just a moment.
Okay, thank you, Mika. So some of the key market development activities also from Elering side. So of course, the priority is the increase of Balticconnector capacity, and market participants be assured that Elering will do everything in our power to hurry along the contractor to finalize the works. So we can so the congestion on Balticconnector would reduce. So we plan to continue with the gas market council meetings, which Elering has held since market opening since 2015, I believe. As mentioned by Anni, we have agreed to hold some of these on a regional level, as we have with the regional market development, we have a lot of regional topics to discuss. We have also, and also which was mentioned by Anni, we have started using the Get Baltic UMM system in order for market participants to have the urgent market information from one place. This was also done by Conexus, so all 4 DSOs are now publishing UMMs on Get Baltic. Baltic connector capacity allocation methodology was already highlighted as a topic, and also the key challenge has already been brought out. On the one side, not to change rules of the market too much, while also at the same time the legal requirement of having auctions if a particular connection is congested. Then on the Estonian retail market side, we are looking and reassessing the retail market rules. This is part of the project of updating our electricity and gas data hubs. While we are updating the data hubs, we also look into and assess whether or not the retail market rules could also be updated. Elering is also carrying out a long-term demand development study for gaseous fuels. So this includes on top of natural gas also hydrogen and biomethane demand developments. So we would be in position to develop the gas system in a way that would take us to the decarbonized future. So Elering would be able to make best decisions on the system planning. And then we shall assess the need to change both the network rules and balancing rules. These are the common Estonian-Latvian zone rules. The network rules would need to change if we change the Baltic connector capacity allocation methodology, and also but we are also looking together with other DSOs into possibilities to harmonize other rules other details of rules in this process, and the same goes with balancing rules. So we are looking into if there's something we can harmonize and then take up the open the rules for amendment. So these would be quickly the key development activities from Elering side. Thanks.
Yeah. Hello to everyone. So regarding the developments in Latvia, besides of already mentioned activities with cross-border effects and joint development of the rules and other processes, this year our core activity in Latvia, there will be 2 core activities. One is introduction of the capacity booking procedure at Inčukalns based on the auctions, which we hopefully, the first auction hopefully will be held before the March 15, hoping that by that time the decision regarding the tariffs will be taken by our NRA. We also plan 3 market participant events this year, besides of the regional ones which were already mentioned by our colleagues, with the topics and specific dates communicated accordingly. And the other big task currently upon Conexus is introduction of national guarantees of origin system, because as you maybe know, we in Latvia, Latvia is the only country in the Baltic countries plus Finland where for the gas there is no guarantees of origin system in place at the moment. So we are working hard at that, and as a one important dimension to this, 4 TSOs are also looking into making the guarantees of origin system so that in our 4 countries it will be the mutually accepted or recognized, at least in the regional level. So we are working in that direction, and it's one of our core activities this year. Thank you.
Okay, so there's time for Lithuania. So on our side, one of the activities that will be in the first and second quarter of this year will be a work together with Conexus regarding capacity management on Kamienna IP. And there were cases last year that on some days we had in warm season congestions there, and might be that by applying dynamic technical capacity calculations, we could somehow improve the level of the capacity depending on situation on overall network on one or other side of the border. So we will be working with Conexus on that to see what we can do better for this warm season when the capacity demand is increasing. And the second point is regarding the capacity allocation on both sides of the border. At this point, there were cases when the different available capacity levels were on Conexus or Amber Grid side, and we will do so that we would avoid these differences for the future. The other area where there will be information in the spring, so by the end of May, there should be tariffs approved by our NRA and published for the year 2022. In Lithuania, tariff year is the same as calendar year, and each year we review the level of the tariffs, except the entry tariffs, which are fixed with the Finnish-Lat tariff zone for a longer time. And there will be no exception for 2022. Then non-standard process, which is going on in Lithuania, is drafting of the amendment of our network and balancing rules. And this is mostly connected to the appearance of new IP with Poland in next year. And there should be auctioning rules established for the capacity allocation for Gipple Point. As well, there will be some other amendments which will be done towards harmonization of the principles of imbalance management and capacity allocation with the mainly Latvia and Estonia zone. Some things will be taken from Finnish rules, which differ by some extent from Latvian and Estonian ones. And right now we are working with the other TSOs to look for what could be harmonized, and quite soon we will go to our national NRA for consultation with them. And we expect that somewhere in second part of the spring we will go out with public consultation for these planned amendments. Then looking time-wise, the other action is the announcement of the plans of first auction on Gipple interconnection point. And together with gas system, we plan to do this communication in the mid-year, so June or July. we will see whether it will be very firm indication and the final saying when this first auction will be held, or it will be some narrowing of the range of potential timelines for this first auction. And the situation is that there is active construction works on the both sides of the border with the Gipel pipeline, and a set of construction contracts signed. And depending on the progress of construction, we'll see when this capacity allocation could be started on. When there was Gipel market survey, so very initial indication was that on Polish side it might be that the construction would end from February to June to May next year. On Lithuanian side, we have less tensions, and so there's less risk that because of Lithuanian side there would be any final date setting for the whole pipeline to be operational. Then going further, so the approval of our balancing rules and transportation rules amendments is expected in the early fall, and later on, we will be also launching our e-platform for capacity sales and balance management, data exchange with network users. Currently, we have quite outdated system, which is inherited even from integrated company times. And now we are working on a modern solution which should meet the usual needs of network users and would be compatible with the solutions also used by other TSOs on data exchange and some other elements. So the launch is expected somewhere early December. We do not have final date yet. However, a certain more clear indications and the possibility for the trainings will be announced much earlier. And the capacity sales as such, they should be done for the year 2022. Only the allocation will start, the booking windows will be open, of course, earlier. So that's in short from Lithuanian side. And these calendars, both national and regional ones, they are made up by TSOs first time for this webinar, and it would be very good to have the feedback from the participants, or orally, or in the chat, or directly to TCOs. How do you find the content of these calendars, and how do you find the timing when they are announced? Is it good for you for the ongoing year to have such information at current time? Should you want, because of certain reasons, earlier? So for us, it would be really good to have a certain guidance from you for our future communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions concerning national development plans or comments? Okay, no questions. So thank you very much, everyone, for participating in this webinar. I hope you got a good overview about the development plans of TSOs, and as it was seen in the regional market development roadmap, TSOs will deepen cooperation in market related and also technical topics, so in order to achieve more and more efficient solutions in our region. But before closing this webinar, we have perfectly 6 minutes time, so we have a Mentimeter questionnaire, 2 short questions. So if you could take your mobile phone or log into the Menti via laptop and using the code 287275 and 3, and you can find the questionnaire in a moment. If someone could confirm that it is working, and the first question is that how do you see TSO's roadmap, both national and regional, the general feelings after the presentations? Currently, it seems we have 17 responses, so I think we could a little bit increase response rate. So let's give 30 seconds time to respond.
And as Vitautas said, also feedback through other channels, emails, any kind of calls after the webinar, they're also very welcome for us to improve our communication and our development activities. This really roadmap now is based on the priorities set by the market, so we will try to kind of follow those in future planning.
Okay, thank you for your first impression feedback. The next question will be shown now, and it seems that quite many has already replied. But let's give about 1 minute time to reply. Okay, thank you very much for your feedback. Thank you for participating this webinar. Next regional development council will be organized in most probably in August, as was indicated in the regional plan. So on TSO's behalf, I wish you all very nice winter time, and this kind of events will be organized also in the future. So thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.